Hello, this is Small Group A and I'm Bintu Nair. Today we'll be walking you through the Microsoft Search assessment that we've conducted. Next slide, please. First, we're going to talk about some of the advantages of a first mover in an industry. First movers are able to establish their product as the industry standard because they are in the market first. They're able to tap into the consumers and make a favorable impression in the market about their product. This can lead to brand loyalty. They also have the ability to gain a majority of the market share and build competitive advantage. They have the time to develop economies of scale, raise barriers of entry via high switching costs for any new entrants. They can use the time that they have to find cost-efficient ways to implement or produce the product, as well as establish premium contracts with key suppliers and hire talented employees. Next slide, please. Here are some of the disadvantages of being a first mover in an industry. Being a first mover is expensive. You have to spend a lot on research and development, educating consumers, marketing costs, setting up production at scale, and other costs. The products that you may be launching, they can be easily imitated and in fact improved upon by new entrants or by the competition. Since you are first, you do not have the luxury of prior experience or learning from prior experiences. And so you don't have a fallback plan. You're prone to mistakes that may prove costly later. It is a high risk proposition being a first mover because you're really keeping all your eggs in one basket. As a first mover with a new product, there is high probability of resistance from the lobbyists, competition, government agencies, and others. And with that, I'll pass it on to Tony.
Thanks, Bindu. To answer the question, what evidence is there that Microsoft or Google has a competitive advantage in the search market, we need to look no further than to Microsoft's own leadership. Danielle Tite, the general manager responsible for revamping Microsoft's search marketing, conceded that Google has no obvious chinks in its armor. Google's competitive advantage in the search market is evidenced in many examples throughout the Microsoft search case, yet is reflected best in the numbers. Looking at exhibits 3 and 6, search engine market shares and search engine comparison respectively, clearly shows that Microsoft has a long way to go to compete on the same level as Google or to impose a real threat. In exhibit 3, we see Microsoft's market shares steadily decreasing over time as Google shares continue to grow at a steady clip. The disparity in numbers in exhibit 6 illustrates that Microsoft would fare better trying to best Yahoo before competing with Google. However, it's sometimes a good challenge for a firm to keep a big, hairy, audacious goal in their sights. Microsoft has previously realized similar unforeseen victories, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility. Google's competitive advantage appears to be a direct result of holding fast to their mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. To bring that mission to fruition, Google clearly uses its resources and capabilities to exploit opportunities and neutralize threats, while using game theory win-win strategies to keep their customers happy, expanding their company, and continuously playing the game they want to play, not the one they find. As we know, search engine users want search results delivered fast. A few additional metrics that substantiate Google's leaderboard position over Microsoft are listed in the table below, or the table on this slide. $500 million data centers are built and used worldwide to facilitate those fast results. We see Google has built 15 data centers worldwide to Microsoft's 4, resulting in Google being able to deliver search results in 100 milliseconds to Microsoft's 200 milliseconds. And with respect to their advertising networks that they cater to, we see that Google caters to 400,000 advertisers to Microsoft's 60,000. With numbers like those, it is refreshing that Google continues to branch out and come up with major new products for their users. Speaking of numbers, let's go to Alex to learn more about how price is distinct from willingness to pay. Alex?
Thanks, Tani. Price is distinct from willingness to pay. A traditional firm sets a price above its total cost, and the gap from price and total cost is value captured by the firm. A customer may decide to purchase the product at that price point. If the customer would have been willing to purchase it at a higher price point, then there's a consumer surplus. For advertisers, it's different. To better understand how it is different, I've included Pinky Tutu, Blue Shirted Johnny, and Farmer Pants Jimmy. Advertisers participate in bid auction pricing. This is common for cost per impression, cost per click, and cashback program advertising. Whoever is willing to pay the most is usually going to receive their advertising spot. The closeness of price to their willing to pay is dependent on the number of bids and bidders. For example, if Pinky Tutu, as demonstrated in this illustration, wants an advertising spot, but Farmer Pants Jimmy is paying 70 cents, then she will have to outbid him by raising it to 71 cents. If she won, she would be thrilled because she was willing to pay 99 cents. In these environments, it's not usually just two bidders. If Blue Shirted Johnny jumps in, Pinky Tutu will need to raise her bid to 88 cents. Still, 11 cents captured by the customer, but not quite as good as earlier. With this understanding, I'll now pass it over to Brent.
Thank you, Alex. My name is Brent, and I'll be speaking to you about the competitive landscape of search querying. Between 2007 and 2008, Google dominated the search industry in revenue per click, as well as customer utilization rates. Its main competitors in that period were MSN and Yahoo, in addition to several smaller search firms. On a click-by-click level, Google collected 71 cents in revenue for every 59 cents that MSN made in 2008. In the year prior, in 2007, Google took credit for 58% of all search queries performed in the United States. They also reported revenue of $5.8 billion for their core business called AdSense in the search market. This figure represented 66% of the total market revenue in 2007, resulting in a market cap of $8.7 billion. Now, unfortunately for their competitor in MSN had a respectable 11% ownership of US search queries, but they couldn't match a similar percentage in terms of market revenue. MSN made significantly less revenue from their search business comparative to Google, capturing only 7% of the market's revenue for an estimated total of $613 million in 2007. Now, additionally, in that same year, MSN tried to gamify their search business by giving away prizes. This initiative generated nearly a third of their total search volume, and it only goes to show that from a functional and advertising perspective, MSN was significantly behind the curve compared to Google. Now, I'll pass it over to Nancy and Sheena to speak further on advertising rates and clicks.
Thank you, Brenton. Google has several advantages relative to its competitors. First, the PageRank algorithm, which helps determine the relevance or significance of the ad linked to the users. The Google AdWords, a keyword-based advertising with cost per click approach, and the ad rank, where the users see the most relevant ads first by ranking the ad position based on the frequency and bids of the users. These algorithms enable Google to enhance its search engine to provide great quality results for the users. Next slide.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Sheena. This is Nancy, and I will be speaking about the following. Isn't a click a click? Well, a search engine that matches consumers to ads well and induce many advertisers to bid against one another would see a higher price per click-through. In addition, the revenue per search that a site realized depended on the firm's ability to attract enough advertisers, filling as many advertising slots as possible with relevant ads, then target the right ads to the right users. Microsoft managers estimated that their price per click-through was comparable to Yahoo's and roughly 80% of Google's. In 2008, Google served 400,000 advertisers. Microsoft and Yahoo had a lower number of advertisers working with them. And what is very important to users is speed. Users want their search results delivered fast. It took Google 100 milliseconds while Microsoft did so within 200 milliseconds. The speed also depended on the physical proximity of the user to the firm's data center. Flexibility. The goal was to expand search engine market, adding features for search results and relevant ads. For advertisers, live search offered the ability to target by user demographics, not just a user search query. Microsoft was less willing than Google to let companies bid on search terms that were trademarks of other companies. They used tags that would allow search engines to spot more relevant pages. Accessibility. Google made the website very accessible and kept the sign-up fee at $5 and minimum bids of 1 cent. For advertisers, it was very low. Google soon overtook competitors. The price per click-through for the same keyword used dynamic pricing with difference across various search sites, even though it was set by auction. With this, we finish our presentation. Thank you.